And we have a go for auto sequence start. T-minus 17 seconds and countdown. All systems are go. Start. 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
It's time to charge up with Victor Pisano.
Hey everybody, it's Victor Pisano. Thanks for listening to another edition of the Powercast from Charge Up. Today I want to focus on you. I want to talk about what's really important for you. There are times in our lives where I think we've got to stop and do a little bit of a self-awareness exercise. We've got to evaluate exactly where we are in our lives. It's important to look in the rearview mirror, get that look and say, okay, hey, this is where I've been, this is where I'm coming from. Always be present. You got to be where your feet are, evaluate where you are today, and then you've got to set your goals for the future. I'm really big on the whole mapping thing because you can talk, you can say all of these things you want to do and the things you want to accomplish. But what's really important to you, write it down. What's really important to you, visualize it. What's really important to you, plan it. Our own self-development is our responsibility. We go to work and sure, we expect mentorship. We expect others to teach us things that will help us grow as a person, become more knowledgeable, become more of an asset. But in reality, it does take our involvement. It does take our buy-in to be able to listen, to be able to take those lessons in, be vulnerable, be humble, but to self-discover who you are, you're responsible. Too many people blame others for their lack of development or their lack of progress. Take control of your life. Take control of who you are. By taking control of who you are, it's so much easier to establish what's really important. I'll give you some examples. For me, I know that there are certain things that I want to accomplish, and I write those down, and in most cases, I'll actually put a timeline of how I want to accomplish those. Now, I'll separate those because they may be purely for my personal development. So I may dedicate myself to a book a week. I can actually fall into those pages, let go of everything around me, and learn, gain knowledge. I pick the books I want to read. I look for certain subjects that I want to grow or I want to develop. So that's my time. Then there's the time I put aside for my family. You know, I've got kids who are very involved in sports. It's a great outlet. It's great for me to get out of the house, go enjoy, go watch them play. It's another escape. But it's important to me and it's building me. It's making me more balanced, more aware of what's going on and more aware of exactly what my self-development is and what's important to me. Then there are the other times where I need that sphere of influence. I need those friends that make me a better person. I always allot time for meeting someone for coffee, having lunch, even going to dinner, because their words inspire me. They make me think. I love listening to what they're accomplishing. And at the same time, throw ideas out to them and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. How does it sound to you? And they're the people that I trust. I call them my blind spot friends. They recognize the things that are in my blind spots that I may not see, but I have the humility to listen to them. I allow them to tell me things that I may not want to hear, but it goes back to what's important to me. And if I want to accomplish something, I've got to eliminate those things that may be roadblocks and barriers. And, you know, I can take my axe and I can swing at the tree and swing at the tree, sharpen my axe, swing at the tree, sharpen my axe. But at some point, I may need somebody to tell me it's time to move on to another tree. And that's where those blind spot friends really become valuable. But what's important to me? There are things I need in my life to be successful. For me, I need Charge Up as much as I hope others need Charge Up. Charge Up makes me a better person because I'm able to at least share the leadership lessons that I've learned over 30 years in the professional world. I'm able to hopefully inspire people, give them something tangible that they can work with, tangible that they can think about, and go outside of their comfort zone because that's important to me. My family is the most important thing to me. I cherish my wife, my kids, my brother, my sister, their siblings, aunts and uncles. I'm an Italian, and family for every Italian is everything. I need that time with my family. Charge Up is dedicated to my father, who passed in 2017. It's to carry his legacy on. And his legacy was all about character, integrity, trust. But number one on that list was gratitude. And by carrying on these traditions of getting together with the family, all we're doing is extending the legacy he created years and years ago. That's important to me. So think about the things that are important to you, identify them, write them down, and make a personal commitment to achieve them, to give them time, to give them your attention, your full attention. Put the phone down, put social media away for a little while, take a break, be present, be fully aware of what you're doing, and give everything you have to that situation. So let's talk about what you can do to make you better on you. First thing, find something that inspires you and pursue it. Learn everything you can and find where it's applicable to your self-improvement and put together a plan of implementation. The other fun thing, develop a new skill set. So for me, my new skill set, I wasn't a great writer. I love to speak. I had to learn how to write blogs. And that sounds crazy. I had to learn how to write blogs, but it's true because I can speak it, but when I write it down, all I'm doing is writing it how I would speak it, and it's redlined forever. But I'm okay with that because I'm learning each time I do it, and we're a good 60 or 70 blogs in, and I'm learning. That's my new skill set that I'm learning, so I'm invested in it. Another way to find out what's important to you is reflect. Take an honest look at yourself and ask, am I being effective? Am I being true to myself? Is my moral compass aligned in the direction where my intentions are? A lot of people say don't look in the rearview mirror, that's behind you. I understand what their intent is in saying that, but I think if we don't look behind, we're missing opportunities moving forward. You hear the saying before, our past defines our future. Study your past from time to time, reflect. Here's another one. Identify your barriers. In other words, what's in your path right now that may be impeding your progress? Here's where this becomes critical. You want to identify these things because your goal is to have a no barriers mindset. You want to be able to face fear, rejection, failure, all of these things in stride. You don't want them to have you stop or go backward. You want to take them in stride, and by being prepared and identifying them, it's so much easier to achieve those goals you've set. It's so much easier to stay on the path toward what's important to you. Here's one that never goes away. Practice patience. Patience is no longer a virtue, in my opinion. It's a requirement. Anything in your life worth achieving is going to require patience. Become disciplined in the art of patience. Don't look for shortcuts. Don't look for the easy way out. Invest your time. Invest your effort. And I'll tell you why. Patience is all about going through the process. And without the process, we don't get a great exposure to success, or more importantly, to failure. By taking a shortcut, you may not learn to fail. When it comes to the point you experience failure, you don't know how to adapt. I can go back to the one I just talked about when I say identifying your barriers. If you're one who doesn't have patience and you need instant gratification, the fear of failure is going to stop you every time. The only way to remedy that fear of failure is through patience. Become disciplined in understanding the art of patience. Pay it forward. I'm going to add this to pretty much every list I always talk about. There's no better way to improve your self-worth than by having acts of, humility and kindness and giving back. You think you're doing something for somebody else and you're saying, God, that really made me feel good. You have no clue what it did to the other person, so it's a win-win. Pay it forward. What you've been given, it's meant to be shared. Find an opportunity to do that. You can do it with a group, but there's something about getting out of your comfort zone and doing it as an individual by yourself to really understand the impact it can make on you in your growth, in your confidence, and in your humility. So pay it forward as often as you can. Finding mentors. Finding mentors is so important for someone like me because I talked about wanting to grow. I talked about the only way I'm able to provide the resources, the motivation, the inspiration is by listening to others. I don't just randomly think of this stuff. It comes from books. It comes from listening to people speak. It comes from friends. It comes from family. It comes from the community of Charge Up where they inspire me. These people help me. There are certain people in my life that they really are identified as my mentors. They're people that will never go away, and they're the ones that I trust the most to talk things through. Find mentors in your life. Find people who are willing to invest their time into bettering you. And those are the special people in your life. And never, ever take them for granted, because it's the mentors that will take you to another level in your life. One of the final things I'll talk about is simply get better. Find ways to improve you. That's been the theme of this entire podcast, is improving you. What's important to you. What needs to be important to you is to get better. Get better a little every day at something. It may be as simple as getting better at communicating with your spouse, getting better at summarizing emails a little bit more to the point. It may be as simple as getting better at communicating with friends. Find a way. All of us, every single person listening, has an opportunity to get better in a certain area. Identify it. Try to make it a habit every day to find something. But get better. Life is too short for you not to take advantage of everything you have around you. I tell people all the time, if you take the blinders off, inspiration is absolutely everywhere. So when we talk about what's really important to you, take the blinders off and look at how beautiful this world is. Look at how much there is to offer. I don't care about the negativity. I don't care about the complaints. Push those aside. Eliminate that garbage from your life. Find the people who inspire you. Find the people who are positive. Work for the people who bring the best out in you. Perform every day as if this is the most important project. This is the most important experience of your life, but be passionate. You've got to love what you do every day, or you're wasting time, and there is no rewind in life. So when I say what's important to you, identify it now. Put a plan together to pursue it, because the word you don't want to use when you get older is regret. Regret is a horrible word. It's horrible because it's one of those words that we have complete control over. So what's important to you? Don't look back 30, 40, 50 years from now and say, it was important to me. I regret not doing it. Let this podcast be the inspiration to push you forward to find exactly what's important to you. I support you in that journey. Friends support you in that journey. Family supports you in that journey. Make you better. Make you a priority. Find what's important and go take the world by storm. More important, go make an impact. Hey, as always, the entire Charge Up team thanks you for not only listening to this podcast, but your support. We could not do this thing without you, and we are so extremely grateful. Have a great week. Go make an impact. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget, my friends, charge up.
Roger, we'll stop. That was a picture-perfect end to a top-fuel mission. Everybody, welcome back to Earth.
Thanks for listening to Charge Up with Victor Pisano. Subscribe to the podcast at chargeuptoday.com.